Hold on. Hold on. I'm coming, Kev. I'm coming. Hold on.
Whole town starts becoming like Vampire Central.
Yeah.
And I realized that I've probably only seen maybe 30 vampire films. I feel like I've seen hundreds, but I tried to count them off and I've seen maybe 30. And someone was saying that the vampires aren't scary. And I thought, like, I don't ever remember a vampire coming on screen and being like, oh, I'm terrified of that. I never felt they were scary to begin with. So that's not an argument I can fully support, but I thought the mood was pretty good. I felt like everyone, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know how to answer this barrage of suckiness that people are through, other than the fact that I sometimes think people don't feel they're important or that they matter unless they're being critical.
I will say that, now that you talk about the whole town being afflicted, I mean, spoilers, but yeah, the whole, the whole town being, by the way, is that from the book in the earlier versions? Is that like how it went down?
I don't know. I seem to think it might have been, but I can't
But
say for sure.
It feel the way that it was sort of like, the zombie version of a vampire. In that, that everybody is like living dead after a certain amount of time. I was, immediately, like you talk about just how immediately you're dropped into the action. I was amazed at how quickly, and I know this is a Stephen King thing, but how immediately kids are put in peril and actually victims, right from the very beginning, and I think that, a lot of writers and films are scared to go that direction, but I guess King has always done that.
My kid made that very complaint where she's like, what is with King and torturing children? And I don't know if that's how King operates, but that's how she sees it. I'll tell you one thing they did, though, that was really effective is the cast is really strong in this, in my opinion. And those three kids were established really well.
Yeah.
Even where the youngest one who becomes the sacrifice, like waves to his kidnapper as he goes into the woods, like that little touch of even making him more lovable before, and then I thought all those guys were, the way they established Petrie in like record time on a playground of like, he can get out of the ropes because he's a Houdini fan, and he can fight for himself because he's going to need to later. And in his room, he happens to have, and they establish it pretty well, a Universal Monster collection with a graveyard and a convenient cross. But it's like that in the first miniseries too. There's a convenient cross. I mean, look, convenience is going to find its way into a vampire movie. I hate to tell you. But I felt like they did a really good job giving those actors in record time, script time, an opportunity to make their mark.
Yeah. No, again, everything was very taut. Now, was the drive-in, was that the climatic moment of the earlier versions?
No, but I love a drive-in, man, especially when, I mean, come on, who doesn't have great memories of a drive-in? On another show, we'll get into that. But I mean, the drive-in was like an American institution.
Yeah.
And it's sad and it's hard to believe that was a thing, because we sit back and we remember watching these movies either in the back of a truck parked in reverse or in a car with a little box. I love that it was set in the 70s. Like, keep the technology out of it.
Yeah. No, I think that they did a good job of making it of the time, and that it not only was that effective, it made it it made it as nostalgic as it was interesting and relevant.
Yeah. And that kid goes in there to mess him up and ends up killing, what is it, Straker? It's Straker, right? Straker's been played by Donald Sutherland and James Mason, who was probably the most effective, but who doesn't love James Mason?
Oh yeah.
You know, and James Mason did creepy very well. He did heroic well, and he did creepy very well. And he does it in the original. I don't know if you've seen it recently. I figured you would have read the script or something for this because you're that kind of guy who does that kind of diligent homework. But Mason was so good at just being this, oh, maybe I could satisfy your curiosity. Come to the house at, shall we say, tea time. You know, that's a terrible James Mason, but you know, it was so proper and
That's what I've heard today. I mean,
oh, yeah. You know, he does a great James Mason, actually, is Mark Amato. It's pretty brilliant.
Really?
And it's,
I can see that.
Yeah, he does a lot of brilliant impressions, but James Mason is, I always ask him to do it, but he says nobody knows who James Mason is, so nobody gets it. And I disagree with that. But
North by Northwest.
Yeah, of course. North by Northwest. He was also the Desert Fox. He's been in countless. Well, anyway.
I am Mr. Floats. NMOSD can blind you, paralyze you, or even kill you in a matter of minutes. But we're close to a cure. With our cure comes a cure for cancer. Go to the Gussie Jackson Foundation. Donate today. Thank you.